And Pondering, I'm back with another video. Yo, please come in, thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel. Happy February. It's February 1st. Listen, I'm excited for the month of February. It's my birthday, February 10th. So yeah, I wanted to do some content. You know, I've been gone for like 2-3 days, but you know, just trying to like take some time off, and you know, just been thinking about some things that I may be having, some steps I may have to take in the near future. But nonetheless, I hope y'all all doing well. I just wanted to come have this conversation with y'all. So yo, I already have a channel that I want to do conversations on this, like this. It's called Just Venting Today. What I'm going to do is link that in the comments below and also in the description. Make sure that you follow and you subscribe to that page. I don't know how many people this video will hit, but I just wanted to come and talk because while I do content over there, the subscriber count is low, and I don't know, more people might hear this message, they may relate to it or whatever, and they may be able to offer up some advice and then also become aware of my other channel. So anyway, right, I've been thinking lately, like, you know, our parents, you know, I'm an 80s baby. This year I'll be 42 on February 10th. So our parents are also aging, right? And this month, actually, February 26th, I've been in Houston 9 years. Well, you know, with that, my mom is also aging. She's getting older. And as your parents age and you really know your parents and they were really in your life, you start to notice certain things with them and like, like, you know, I can see that, you know, they're having, you know, maybe certain issues of like memory, or maybe they're not eating properly, or whatever that thing is for you, right? I believe in my heart of hearts that yes, you can have, you know, I have a life going on here in Houston. I've been here, you know, almost a decade. I built it up. But the thing about it is that I had a mother who was active and who was in my life. And I feel like I owe it to her to show up and to be there. She shouldn't have to be, you know, home and, you know, dealing with certain things. Like, my mother is not alone. We have family that's there, you know, family who checks in on my mom and isn't around or whatever like that. I do have some certain people who do let me down because I feel like they should be doing more than I see that they are doing. But you can't, you know, you can't make a person do what you would like them to do. And, you know, you just have to be able to either do it yourself or shut up, pretty much, right? So, you know, you start having those conversations in regards to like your family, like when it comes to your parents or your grandparents, and you're just like, hey, like, you know, eventually, like, what do you think? Would we put them in a nursing home or would we put them in assisted living? Me personally, I've worked in a nursing home when I was younger. It's one of my first jobs, and I see how people get treated in a nursing home, and also I know what happens, right? Now, I'm not trying to make you scared of anything, but I'm just want to put this on your mind, right? So my mom, she has like, you know, she was a smoker when she was like in her younger years, and she stopped smoking, but she has like pulmonary like issues with, like, you know, they haven't been bad, you know, they haven't been bad as of the later years because she stopped smoking, but those problems are still there. They still persist. So my thing is, I need to be there for my mom. I need to move. Once it gets to that point where it's just like maybe her memory is getting really bad, I will have to move back to New York and I will have to be with her. And I feel like when your parents raise you and they raise you and they, you know, they make you a positive force in this society, I owe it back to her. This is why I've been moving a certain type of way within the past few years when it comes to like my bills. Like, I shop a lot. I get a lot of things that I want, right? But I've been moving a certain way in regards to my bills, like my car. That was like one of my biggest expenses outside of like student loans, right? So my car, I got my car back in 2020, and my credit wasn't as good then. Listen, I'm not ashamed to say it because a lot of people don't have good credit. My credit is good now. Like, I'm on the brink of 700 right now, you know? But that was 4 years. I got my car in 2020. I was here in 2016. So that was like after the rebuilding phase. So I got my car, like, you know, I had like a 590 credit score, you know, at that point. And my car, I got a bad interest rate on it. I think it's like maybe 24%, right? So I had a trek of 6 years to pay that car off, but I paid it off in 4 years because I kept throwing money into it because I'm like, wait, if I paid this car off in the amount of time that they expect me to, I would have paid, like, I'm already paying a lot for the car. So I ended up paying my car off in 4 years, and I'll do a video separate on how I did that. But the reason why I moved the way that I did is because I didn't need these bills looming over me in case I needed to make a move like now, where I'll be like, okay, I can move and hopefully my job will let me work remotely. But if they don't, I'm going to give that up until I find something locally for it to be there for my mom. I'm going to have to show up for her. So I'm making this video just to let you know that I don't know if you've ever experienced anything in life where you like, damn, like, I need to show up for my parents, you know, as it relates to the whole nursing home thing, I don't want to scare you or anything, but when you put your parents in a nursing home, think about what happened around the COVID. Think about what happened around that time. And if my mom has pulmonary or respiratory issues, if we was to allow, my mother has 4 boys, if we put her in a nursing home or whatever, those type of communicable diseases or illnesses, they spread quickly. So would you feel at fault if you put your parent in a nursing home and then they ended up getting sick? Let's just be honest, right? I know you might not think about it like that, but yeah, that's what goes on my mind. And I can't do that to my mom. Like, not as much as she's been. And you know, my mom, when she was younger, she was just like, if I ever get older to the age, just put me in a nursing home. Put me in a nursing home. I'm never going to put her in a nursing home, because as we've seen what happened with the COVID, when people just were catching those illnesses and passing away in record-breaking numbers up in those facilities, I would never do that to my mom. So listen, I just did this video pretty much because sometimes for me, when I take a few days off, it feels so robotic to come back and just do commentary on things that's happening. Like, no, I got things that's happening in my life, and that Just Venting channel will be more of those things that I'm going to cover. So make sure, again, that you subscribe to that channel. But I felt like my subscribers who I built up over here, whoever watches this video ends up watching it, but you deserve to be in the know as well of, you know, things that I'm going through as well. But these conversations will be more so on the Just Venting Today channel. So make sure, again, that you subscribe to that. But I just want to tell you, any of you, did you go through this? How did you show up for your parents? Like, you know, what did you do to implement and be in their life and make sure that you were around and kind of like pay it back to them? You know that they say, like, you know, twice a child and once an adult. However that saying goes. I don't know if I screwed it up or whatever, but I just felt like I need to be there for my mom. You know, here in Houston, I don't have a car payment anymore. You know, my credit card bills and things like that, that can be controlled. I'm at 0 with all of my credit. I don't overspend on my credit cards. When I first moved here, when I was young, like, when I moved here when I was young, like 32, I was reckless with my credit cards. I was reckless. Now, as soon as I get something, I use my credit cards to get points. I pay them off. So I didn't want this looming debt around me, so that when it's time for me to be able to make that move and be with my mom, so say I need to take 2-3 months off without working, my car is paid off. I can control credit. I don't need to use credit if it's like whatever, and I still got money saved in savings, right? But the point of this video is, like, you know, be there for your parents, especially if they were there for you. I can't tell you not to put your parents in a nursing home, but I would tell you to think about the things that come, you know, with it. You know, sometimes, unfortunately, your parents may have an illness where they need to be in a nursing home. But if your parent has issues with just like maybe memory and things like that, I would say try to work until the end, ultimately, so that they don't have to be in those facilities. Those people get mistreated, you know. Sometimes they may have anger, you know, depending on what type of, if it's going into like dementia or anything like that, they may have an anger, or they may have certain behaviors that certain people, they might get infuriated and they might treat your parent a certain type of way. Have you ever noticed, like, even with you, say you have a child that you know is a little bad, or you don't know if they got ADD or whatever, right? But you know that you can't let every person watch that child, because you don't know how they'll treat them and how they react to them. That's very important to pay attention to. So with my mom, she just turned 70. And also to let you know this too, right? This is just kind of like a dumping video, just putting multiple information in it. I had to start looking at the writing on the wall. My mother had a stroke when she was younger, working 3 jobs, sending her boys to private school. So my mother had a stroke. My father had a stroke. My father got diabetes. My mother has diabetes. My brother had a stroke. My brother has diabetes. My older brother had a stroke, I think, before my brother, who we have the same father. That's 4 people right there. Yo, I'm down to like 270 pounds. My mom still says that she was like, yeah, you need to lose more weight or whatever, but never call me fat, never bully me or anything. She's like, yeah, you need to get down a little lower. But I say that to say is that my highest was like 375 pounds, right? Okay, my bacon got 10 more minutes. I just did that. So, all right. So my highest was like 375, 80 pounds, right? But I lost all of that weight. I started to get my life together because I don't want to have a stroke. I want to let you know this. When you have a stroke, it triples your chances of having Alzheimer's, dementia, memory issues. It triples it. So my mother, my father, my two brothers had strokes. What do you think who's in line next if I was to be able to live my life a certain type of way? This is why I work out 6 times a week. This is why I eat fruits and vegetables every day, and I drink good water, and I just take care of myself. I take my vitamins, I really do it up for myself. I've never had diabetes. I was like pre-hypertension at one point, but then I listen, I do what I got to do to take care of me, and I'm telling you right now, as we age, do what you got to do to take care of you, because you don't listen to my one brother. He had a stroke, and his stroke was worse than my mom, my brothers, and my father, I believe. It's like he had it bad, and that's my brother, same mother, same father. So it's like, how would that impact me if I was to just live this lifestyle of like smoking weed every day and eating crazy and doing. Now listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. After the holidays, I got caught up in all that food stuff, so I'm kind of getting over that now, where I'm just like stopping, like curbing like the sweets and stuff like that. But I feel as though if you're on a positive path, it's easy to get back to it. You know how like in church they say train up a child in the way that they should go, so when they old they will not depart from it. However that goes, but I feel like if you've lived and moved through life on a healthy track, if you ever get diverted from that, it's easy to get back to it. So I'm back to it. So yeah, man, you got to look at the writings on the wall. Mother had a stroke. Father had a stroke. Two brothers had a stroke. That's 4 people. What is that telling me? What is that saying to me? That if you keep smoking weed daily, and a lot of y'all be so used and so sucked up into doing what you're doing, you can't see nothing outside of it. I want to see outside of it. If there's a way that I'm showing up, if I'm showing up in an insufficient way, I reflect all the time. Like, how could you do better? I review my content like that. What could you do better? If I do different content, will I get the same views as the ones as the videos that go up for me? I think about that, but I deserve to do different content. The weight loss, am I staying true to it? How many days of the week am I eating out or eating sweets or breads? Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Here in HEB in Texas, they got this French bread, and I'm addicted to eating. I was addicted to it for a few days for eating it with salted butter. I would get a loaf of that bread and break it down, and I would be putting it through that salted Land O'Lakes butter and being pure heaven. But I stopped it. I had it for a few days, you know what I'm saying? But I stopped it. So it's all about getting back on track and staying focused. So seeing my parents and my brother go through those things, I don't want to have a stroke. I don't. So I'm happy that I'm in a healthy state where I can be there and help my mom out, So yeah, I just wanted to do this video just to kind of like, open up and tell you all like, what's possibly in the pipeline for me. I might be moving from Texas back to New York to be with my mom, but I feel like she deserves that. She raised her boys. My mom would do any and everything for me, so she deserves that. Have you ever been through anything like that where your parents' age, or maybe it was your grandparents who took care of you and you felt like you owed it back to them? My mom over my body, like, I can't say my dead body because I'm not dead, but as it pertains to me being alive and having a pulse having a pulse in this existence, my mom is not going to go to no nursing home unless she's like to a point where she has like a trach and whatever. She's not going to do that. She's not, because not when she got a living son who owes it back to her. Now you might feel as though, because based off of you having a husband or having somebody in a relationship, that you don't want to lose them or whatever. But listen, my mom, I come first, because if I don't move and if I'm not healthy, I can't help anything. But who comes after that is my mom. That's a person. She's the reason why I exist in this way, shape, and form anyway. She's the reason why I'm able to be responsible, no matter how much my mom could have splurged on some money and went to the casino and did whatever. But she's the reason why I'm a responsible adult, and why I have sound thoughts and actions of how I, conduct. My father too, but my mother, she did the rearing. I'm the one who's seen her pay bills and handle and, do things like that. Like, when you're raised by a single parent, you see how they push certain bills. Like, okay, I got to pay my mortgage, got to pay my car payment. I'm going to push the electricity. Let me call them. I'm going to push the phone bill. Like, my mom taught me how to like really finesse and do things like that. In a perfect world, you pay all your bills on time. But when you a single parent, and then, my father was there, but he wasn't always helping financially like that. He just wasn't. And I know that's the truth for a lot of us, right? But yeah, man, I owe it back to my mother. I owe it to her to be there for her. And, you know, I want to know, have you been through anything like that? Whether it was your mother who raised you, whether it was your aunt who raised you, or your grandparents, you know, what did you do once they got older? How did you deal with your aging parents, you know? And I'm happy that I paid my car off in 4 years. I'm going to do a video, like I said, about that, like how I did it strategically. Also, you know, of course, you got to pay more into it, but I did something that really helped me get out of that. So yeah. So listen, this was just pretty much a venting video, letting you know what's going on with me. Expect more content. I'm going to be doing more political. I also want to cover some different things that happen with those crashes in DC and also Philadelphia. Just give some opinion and commentary on that. So listen, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Make sure that you subscribe to Just Venting Today, because I'm going to do more content over there where I could be more transparent or whatever, right? But my potent pondering channel, I wanted to do a video like this, so whoever watches it and catches it, you'll be aware of that other channel, because I did post it on my community feed, but not everybody sees those posts all the time. So whoever sees this video is meant to see it, and make sure that you subscribe to that channel. Listen, my turkey bacon is almost done. I need to make me a little omelet before I go back to the gym, and I hope y'all all doing well. Happy February 1st. My birthday is February 10th. So listen, I'm happy. I'm excited. And nonetheless, even though our parents get older and, you know, it's not something that we want to see and it's not exciting, and, you know, you want your parents to be around forever, I'm happy that I went through this, that, you know, the warp is my mom, like her being, I came through a warp of a person who cared about me in this lifetime, who took care of me, who knew the clothes that I liked, who knew the foods that I liked, who really cared, and cared about my individual experience and all of my siblings. So I owe it back to her. So, you know, even the thought of if my mom wasn't here anymore, I'm happy that I had that through this existence. Some people have parents who they don't even like their parents. You know what I mean? So every parent has their ways. And my mom, she would nag about certain things, but nonetheless, I came through an existence with a parent who cared about me, who would do anything for me, who would give me her last if she had to. So yeah, that's my experience. So, you know, on the up and up. So listen, potent, pondering, never pandering. Subscribe to this channel. Make sure you check out Just Venting Today. I'm about to start doing more videos over there. So yeah, I'm up out of here. Peace.